Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. Latest statistics tell us that 56% of Canadian households have at least one pet. And if you have one pet, you have probably seen this sign somewhere, and many of you say, what the heck is that? Well, what that means is Hamilton Region Emergency Veterinary Clinic. And some of you have had a chance to use this, unfortunately, and we're going to talk about that today because we do have Christmas coming, we have pets. Those things don't necessarily go well together. And with us this morning is the aptly named Courtney Shepherd.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us, Operations Manager
Thanks
here.
for coming.
Tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, introduce us to your friend.
So this is Addie here. She's a little puppy. She's very excited. She's one of the staff pets we brought in to say hello. She's full of energy. We absolutely love her. Come here, Addie. Come here, hi,
I think
honey.
she just wants to jump around a little bit.
She loves it. She loves the attention.
All right, now this is not a veterinary clinic like your normal neighborhood veterinary clinics. Tell us what this actually is.
So we are strictly emergency based. So if there is a severe emergency that happens to any of your fur animals, to give us a call. So it can be anything from toxicities, injuries, there's a whole wide variety. If you can't get in touch with your regular veterinarian,
Or you don't have one.
Or you don't have one, you can give us a call. We do highly recommend to please call us in advance, as wait times are a little bit longer than usual right now. We are still operating on a curbside only, but
So how does that work? You call ahead?
Yeah, so they would call us ahead. We have our amazing receptionists who will kind of book them and get their information. We work on a triage basis only right now, so the most critical patients are seen first. It's a little bit different than a regular veterinarian. So a regular veterinarian, you book your appointment. With us, it's strictly emergencies only. So we are essentially the hospital for people, but for animals.
Ah, okay, I see that. Okay, so there is a place for it in here in the structure of the
Exactly.
veterinary services. All right, we are going to come back a little bit later on here, and we'll tell you. Well, actually, you're going to go in the back room where nobody gets to go unless you work here or you're us.
Top secret.
So we'll see in the top secret area behind. We'll tell you a little bit about what goes on here and how you can help your pet have a great Christmas ahead of us. We'll see you in a bit. As promised, we're in the inner sanctum of the Hamilton Region Emergency Veterinary Clinic, and we're going to talk to some of the staff here about what goes on and how they can help your pets over Christmas and any time, actually. Let's go over and see Carly. Carly's a tech here and has her dog in today. Nice Santa hat on. So tell us a little bit about your particular animal.
So this is Hazel. I got her from a rescue. So we don't really know what breed she is, and that's the most common thing we get asked. What type of dog is that? I wish I could tell you. I don't know.
All right, so tell us a little bit about the veterinary business as such. And we hear in human medical conditions, there's a lot of burnout, that kind of thing. Does that make any correlation with what happens in the veterinary side of things?
Yeah, it absolutely does. It's definitely transferred over for us. We're seeing similar things in terms of burnout, and doctors are wanting to retire earlier because they're just kind of had enough. And so we're also struggling with the amount of DVMs available to practice veterinary medicine. Doctors of veterinary medicine.
Ah, okay.
So we're struggling with the numbers that we have and compensating for the increase in pet ownership.
So what causes the burnout? Is it the amount of patients you're dealing with, or what part of the business of veterinary clinics?
I think there's a lot of contributing factors. It's not just one thing, that's for sure. The clients are obviously stressed out. They're coming to us with a sick pet, so especially in emergency medicine. And that doesn't always bring out the best in people. And so we have to deal with those kinds of things. There's also financial constraints that we have to take into consideration when maybe we would like to practice medicine in a certain way. We have to sort of compromise in certain areas. And
it's the volume of animals now that are coming in because, as I said earlier in the program, 56% of Canadian households have at least one pet. It seems like people who have pets have like 10 now. So what has happened over the last few years? Because I remember when I was a kid, the odd person had a cat, the odd person had a dog, but now it seems like almost everybody seems to have some animal.
It does seem like that. Pet ownership has increased substantially. All the pet products out there, they'll tell you that they're doing so well because of pet ownership increase, and that has dramatically affected us. So we are at capacity majority of the time. So when you're calling us, it's not always a case of we don't want to see you, it's that we can't see you because we're literally at our maximum. And so that's also causing, a lot of stress for us, and we're trying to just offer the best possible medicine to everyone. And that increase in pet ownership, since we don't have the numbers of doctors that we would like, and there's a shortage, we're not able to always, increase that capacity to what we would like it to be.
Okay, sorry to interrupt your training session. I'll let you get right back to it. Where's your dog now? Let's get it back over here. Come on over here. Oh, look at
Hazel.
that. She's just, come on over here. Let's see another trick as we go.
Hi.
We're going to come back a little bit later on to the clinic, and we're going to check on and talk about how you can protect your pet at this particular time of year, Christmas.
Girl.
I want to introduce you to Spud, and Spud is one of the resident cats here at the Hamilton Region Emergency Veterinary Clinic, and Morgan is the handler right now and trying to keep her fingers away from Spud's teeth. They're very sharp at this age, aren't they?
Yes, very.
Now we're hanging out the Christmas tree today for a particular reason, because Christmas time can certainly cause problems for pets as well. We get excited about Christmas, but for pets it's not necessarily a happy time. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen.
Well, at Christmas time, there tends to be a lot of toxicities that come in, such as chocolate ingestions. A lot of people have a lot of chocolates hanging out under the tree or in their house, and chocolates can make pets very sick, especially dogs, when they ingest it.
Is there anything particular in it? Because, a lot of people do, against veterinarian thoughts that they feed them table scraps and that kind of thing. So why would chocolate be any different?
Chocolate contains something called theobromine, which is actually very toxic to dogs. Dark chocolate is more toxic than milk chocolate, but chocolate in any amounts is not good for the dogs.
So don't be hanging chocolates on the tree like we see in this little package right here, because a pet might decide and may want to check that out a little bit.
Exactly.
What else about the tree can be a problem?
We see a lot of things like foreign bodies where cats and dogs may eat some ribbon or string from a present, and things like tinsel off of the tree, and that can make them very sick. It can cause an intestinal blockage or something like that, and it can lead to them needing surgery.
And a lot of times people don't realize that their animals have gotten into something. Mm-hmm. What do animals tend to do? Is there a certain way they behave when they're feeling out of sorts that you may have to look for or may want to look for?
Yeah, so you may notice some vomiting. You may notice pieces of whatever they ate in the vomit. You may notice they're a little bit more lethargic. They may not be able to eat because they'll not be feeling very well. Things like that.
Okay, so have a great Christmas, everybody. That's what we're looking for. But also make your animals have a great Christmas as well by keeping the food away from their ability to get at it, or ribbons or that kind of a thing, which can cause some problems when they don't understand that. We're going to come back a little bit later on. We're not going to see Spud, but we are going to talk a bit about what special challenges that winter has for our pets.
It's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling down a highway.
All right, Hazel, well done. Nicely done. Hazel and Carly showing us some more tricks here as we finish up our visit to the Hamilton Region Emergency Veterinary Clinic on Dundurn. Very nice. And joining me now is Kirsten Burley. Now, Kirsten, tell us a little bit about wintertime, because wintertime, like Christmas, has special situations where we have to make sure that our animals are taken care of properly. So what do you see and what do you find as people come in here with their animals over the winter?
Yeah, definitely one of the first things that we want to be doing for pet care in the winter is wiping down our animals when they come in after a walk. So a lot of times we'll try to leave a little towel or something right by the door so that right when they get in we can wipe off their paws, because salt can really irritate their paws.
What about washing their paws? A lot of people just sort of put the dog right in the sink.
So I would actually recommend decreasing the amount of times that you're bathing your pet during the winter. One of the reasons why is because it can actually dry out their skin a lot more. So if you do have to bathe your pet, we would definitely recommend using some sort of moisturizer. So something like coconut oil can actually help with that if you notice their skin's getting dry and flaky. One of the things we also want to make sure, a lot of people are aware, we don't want to leave our pets out in a car during the hot weather, but we especially don't want to be doing that in the cold weather as well. Cars can act like a refrigerator and it gets super cold in there, so that is obviously not good for our pet as well. We also want to make sure we're not letting our dogs or anything off leash too much, because they could get lost. They actually they don't have as much scent, so it is really hard for them. It's harder for them to get back to you if they get lost or anything.
So basically what you're saying is make sure their feet are clean once they come in.
Yeah,
You don't have to wash them all the time.
No, we don't necessarily want
not
to wash them. Yeah, we just want to wipe them down, and also their coat as well. So a lot of times they can get little snowballs right by their legs, but also on their stomach as well. So you want to make sure you're getting all that off when they come inside. Sometimes we also recommend bringing just a small towel outside when you go for walks if you notice that their feet are getting irritated. Especially small dogs as well. We want to make sure we're keeping them warm when they go outside for walks. Sometimes they can't keep insulated.
What are you thinking about the little foot
Yeah,
boots they put on and the little coats? Are they necessary or are they a fashion statement?
Yeah, I'd say for small dogs it actually is a good thing. For small dogs, like I said, they can't keep their body temperature insulated as well. So we want to make sure we have like little booties for them. Sometimes coats work really well as well. We want to make sure they're kind of getting from their neck all the way to their back end. However, big dogs like huskies and stuff, they definitely have some more insulation, and we don't need to be putting a coat on them or anything. They could get too hot. Another thing we want to make sure is, because pets are cold in the winter, we want to make sure we're keeping an eye on different heat sources like heaters. They could want to get too close to a heater, which could obviously be dangerous. And outside, we also want to be checking under cars. There's obviously some heat under cars from engines and stuff. So we want to maybe take a little look under cars before we head out, because there could be a cat or something hiding under there. That's another thing we want to keep an eye out for.
Right. And over Christmas, I know most veterinary clinics will be closed for some days,
Yeah.
more or less. So a lot of the situations, emergency, are going to end up here at the Hamilton Region Veterinary Clinic, the emergency center here. So is it just a matter of just calling and booking an appointment? Just tell folks if they have a problem, let's hope they don't, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we want to give us a call right away if you notice anything that you think that you're really concerned about. Like we said, it might be hard to get into your regular vet, so for any emergencies, we definitely want to call here. Like we mentioned before, there is a little bit of a vet shortage, but you call here and then we will definitely try to get your pet in as soon as possible.
Okay, well, thank you all for letting us come in here today and invade and see all the places that most people don't get to see. We know what to do with our pets, and we know where to take them now if they need problems. I'll just wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully
you as well.
It's a quiet one here.
Yes, thank you.